Coming up on Citrus TV News, thousands of students across the nation prepare to march for gun reform, including right here in Syracuse. Citrus TV's Lilia Wood will join us in studio with more details on how activists in Syracuse plan to make their voices heard.
And in Washington, despite threatening a veto, President Trump has signed a spending bill that funds the government until September. Find out why the president expressed discontent and what the bill actually does.
Plus, Citrus TV reporter Brendan Tierney tells us how one bar is preparing for the big game tonight. Citrus TV News starts right now.
TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News. Tonight's the night. Syracuse and Duke tip off after 9:30 tonight in Omaha, Nebraska for their highly anticipated Sweet 16 matchup. I'm Nicole DeMentri.
And I'm No Eagle. We have Citrus TV men's basketball reporter Christian Guzman live in Omaha ahead of tonight's big game. Christian, how you doing?
Thanks, guys. Syracuse and Duke take the court here at the Century Link Center in Omaha in just under 3.5 hours, or around that time. And this is a Syracuse time, and this is a Syracuse team that is very good, but this is a Duke team's defense that has improved greatly, and it has a little orange flair to it as well.
This isn't your normal Duke Blue Devils team. They have a little orange flair inside them. Coach Mike Krzyzewski has his team play defense in a 2-3 zone, a system that took some time to get used to.
A lot of us weren't used to playing that zone, so a lot of us didn't know where to be in certain moments. So
eventually, the Blue Devils figured out how to operate the zone efficiently. Better communication throughout the season greatly improved the Duke defense.
And when you do that, you notice everyone starts to move a little bit more, everyone gets active, their arms get wide, and it makes our defense better, and it gives each other energy, and so it just overall makes us a tougher team to score against.
The zone has become synonymous with the Blue Devils this season. It has allowed Duke to hold opponents to a field goal percentage of just over 40%, good for 12th in the nation.
No, we do a great job on ball pressure up top, which make it difficult for them to reverse the ball a lot. So I think that's really the main things that we do in the zone.
And with a Syracuse team that struggles offensively, the unique weapon of the orange could be its downfall.
And I've seen it before in practice and in games where we were able to shut down our opponents. So I feel like, we play the zone if we're active and have energy, and we can play very well.
And this is a Syracuse team that didn't perform well last time against Duke, 44 points, tied for a season low. They're going to need to do better if they want to advance to the Elite Eight on Sunday here in Omaha.
Now, Christian, who's a key player in this game, someone we should watch out for tonight?
Well, one of the key players that has to be on the Duke side of the ball, Marvin Bagley III, 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. The last time these two teams played in Cameron Indoor, he's a real big factor that could cause problems for the big guys such as Pascal Chukwu and Barama Sidibe. Marvin Bagley III, one of the star freshmen of this very talented Duke squad.
And what does Syracuse need to do to beat Duke? We lost before, so what do we need to do?
Well, I said it before, Syracuse really needs to improve on the shooting. 44 points, season low, just over 31%. That's the fourth lowest total this season that they had against Duke. Tyus Battle said that yesterday. Frank Howard and O'Shea said it as well. Just need to shoot better against Duke. They felt like they played a really good defensive game against the Blue Devils last time these two teams played. If they shoot the ball better, Syracuse could probably have a chance.
Certainly should be an interesting game between these two teams. Christian, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And as the Orange get ready to face Duke in Omaha, Marshall Street is preparing for a game of its own. Citrus TV's Brendan Tierney reports on how one bar is getting ready for the biggest game of the year.
Cases of beer. That's not a normal delivery for Orange Crate Brewing Company on a Friday night. But it's just part of what's needed as students are expected to flock to bars on Marshall Street for this evening's game. Manager Jason Murtor says they've learned from previous tournament runs.
Everybody came in last minute and we filled right up, so I would suggest now trying to get in a little bit earlier, get yourself a spot at the bar or outside so you can see the TV and get some drinks ready.
And preparation goes well beyond that, as they have to make sure everyone has a safe and fun time watching the game.
Extra security, people here just getting ready for the party, so. But the surround sound will be on, it'll be loud, it'll be crazy.
As the Orange advances in the tournament, it helps businesses like Orange Crate bring more people out, resulting in additional revenue that would not happen if the Orange bowed out of the dance early.
The more people, the better, and as Q's continues on, it only helps us, so we support them and they help us out, and it's always a good time. So.
And for students not planning on coming down here to Marshall Street, the Student Association is sponsoring a watch party in Shine Dining. It's featuring free food, including chicken tenders. The doors open for that at 9 o'clock. Brendan Tierney, Citrus TV News.
Crate is just one of the bars on Marshall offering specials tonight. Students should expect a line and might want to get out well before the scheduled 9:30 tip-off.
SU announced today social activist and award-winning athlete Catherine Switzer will deliver this year's commencement address. While at SU, Switzer became the first woman to officially run the Boston Marathon her junior year of college. How amazing is that? Now, this year's commencement ceremony will take place Sunday, May 13th in the Dome. And the Office of Provost is extending the deadline for faculty members to submit diversity and inclusion grant proposals. Faculty members now have until April 6th to submit their applications. The quote, unsurpassed student experience diversity and inclusion grants will support university efforts to evaluate practices that the university has implemented to increase diversity and inclusion on campus.
Well, it's that time of year again. This year's 2018 Watson Distinguished Visiting Professor Susan Schweik is in town and will hold a lecture series. Riley Berg sat down with Schweik to discuss how Syracuse has been a hub for this field of study.
That's right, Noah. Schweik has come to Syracuse to share her extensive knowledge of the field, but not without first sharing a bit of history on how Syracuse has been a leader in working towards a more inclusive society. In the 70s, a group of international leaders landed in Syracuse. They worked to stop segregation and create social spaces for disabled individuals.
Doing it also in a way that didn't just involve helping professionals, deciding what was best and being really kind and nice and making policy and making programs, but doing it in a way that was driven by disabled people themselves, with that understanding that the people who know the most are always the people who have lived the experience.
Syracuse University is known for how welcoming it is to all people.
There's a kind of down-to-earth style here at Syracuse that is one of a kind. There's just an incredibly rich array of faculty here and students working on this area. I don't think there's any place like it anywhere else.
Diane Weiner from the Syracuse Disability Cultural Center described how the university works hard to be inclusive to all students.
Disability is an aspect of diversity that enriches life on and off the SU campus. We want to make sure that people feel a sense of belonging and welcome.
Now, this idea of inclusiveness is something Schweik will discuss in her lecture series. She will also talk on the intersection of literature, feminism, and civil rights in relation to disability studies. You can visit CitrusTV.com for more information on times and locations of these events.
Thanks so much, Riley. Tomorrow is the annual Relay for Life campaign at Syracuse University. Thousands of students, staff, and Syracuse residents will be at the Dome to fundraise for cancer. The event is 12 hours long, spanning from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m., and you can donate or sign up online. A Syracuse University law student has been elected as the National Law Student at Large on the American Bar Association of Governors. The election was held less than a week ago, and Matthew Wallace came out on top.
In his platform statement, he said he wants to reach out to communities that could provide law students who are dedicated to public service. Wallace will advocate on behalf of 120,000 law students. And the Anheuser-Busch Brewery near Baldwinsville is working to cut back on their water usage. The brewery's parent company is challenging all of its breweries to decrease their use of water. The parent company will give the brewery that cuts back the most a $100,000 grant to improve efficiency and extra perks for employees. And following the shooting in Florida last month, the safety of students in schools have been a priority. Now here in Syracuse, residents are planning a march for tomorrow afternoon. Their goal is to give students a voice and to stand with students in an effort for gun control. Here to discuss the march is CitrusTV reporter Lilia Wood, who will be at the march tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, Lilia.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off. Can you tell us just a little bit about the march in general tomorrow here in Syracuse?
Yeah, so the march is going to be tomorrow at noon, and actually 7 high school local students started it all together. They realized that there was a need for it. They're all young women between 16 and 17 years old. They either go to Christian Brothers Academy or the Fayetteville Manulus High School. They actually created a Facebook page, March for Our Lives Syracuse, and they thought there wasn't much traction, but then it turned out within a few days, there were 3,000 different people who were interested, and currently there's 1.2 thousand who say they're definitely going to be there, which is super, super awesome. I got to talk to one of the organizers, Rachel Cruel, and she said when they started planning, there weren't many shootings locally here, but now within the last few weeks, there have been a lot of threats here in central New York.
That's really cool how it blew up so quickly like that. How can SU students get involved in this cause?
Well, actually, the Student Association last week, they sent something out saying they have tickets for 150 students to go. They're $5 tickets to go down to Washington, D.C. But if you want to stay local, there's definitely things you can do here. They're actually having charter buses that are coming from the university. You get them right behind Shine at 11 and 11:30, and they'll take students down to the march so you can be there. And then, of course, they'll take you back right afterward. It's supposed to be from 12 to 2, so it's about 2 hours.
Well.
And where exactly does the march start tomorrow? I know you said it's from 12 to 2. Where should we go and meet if we do want to go to the march?
So you're going to meet all at Everson Plaza at noon. I would suggest getting there early. Police have already blocked off a whole bunch of different streets. So suggest getting there early. You need a lot of time. The march is going to start on the South State Street between the Everson Plaza and the War Memorial. Then you're going to go down eastward Washington Street. Then the route will take a left. So it's basically a straight line and then a left if it confuses you. It's about 0.7 miles altogether if you're worried about.
Wow, that was a lot of direction, but very cool nonetheless.
Basically, it's straight to a left, so that's all you got to know.
And we could check the Facebook group. I'm sure it has all the specifics.
And there's 3,000 people you can follow. So
yeah, pretty much. Cool. Thank you so much, and enjoy it tomorrow. Well, weather has been interesting because spring has started, and it's a little cold here. Syracuse basketball team had a chance to get to a warmer location, Los Angeles, Atlanta, 2 of the spots, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't luck out on this one because they're going to beautiful Omaha, Nebraska.
It is beautiful, one of those sought-after vacation spots. Josh Feinblatt has a little more on the spot, and you know what, if we're lucky, maybe some wind impressions.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Omaha prediction for what it's going to feel like down there. But I am predicting a Citrus TV here. I am predicting a Syracuse win. I also predicted last night that our anchor Nicole had some cake, so because happy birthday to her. If we take a look at our Citrus TV sky cam, 37 degrees right now. It's a little bit cloudy, but it feels like 29, and we have some humidity. And if we take a look around central New York, temperature's pretty steady. Elmira got a little bit up into the 40s. We're definitely a little bit jealous of them. Everyone else in the high to low 30s. And tonight, it's going to be around 30 degrees, winds at 15 miles per hour. It's going to feel like 18. I've got more coming up from Omaha and Syracuse later in the show.
Thank you for the birthday shout out. And it's coming up, the stock market closes down for the day.
And a deadly attack in southern France is being investigated as an act of terrorism. More details on the deadly rampage after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Earlier this afternoon, President Trump signed a $1.3 billion spending bill to avoid a government shutdown.
Now, Trump tweeted this morning that he was thinking of vetoing the bill, but ended up giving his signature to a bill he called, quote, ridiculous. Take a listen to what he has to say.
As a matter of national security, I've signed this omnibus budget bill. There are a lot of things that I'm unhappy about in this bill. But I say to Congress, I will never sign another bill like this again.
And the ominous budget bill President Trump signed this morning funds the government through September. Trump said the bill got his signature mainly because it gave a much-needed spending increase to the military. Now the bill increases Defense Department funding by $61 billion, giving it a top-line budget of $700 billion. The bill notably does not include a solution for young undocumented immigrants known as Dreamers. Congressional Republicans and Democrats tried to reach a compromise this week, but were unable to find common ground. The bill also left very little funding for President Trump's long-promised border wall. Trump requested $25 billion to fulfill his biggest campaign promise, but the bill only provides a down payment of $1.6 billion for the wall.
Well, amid fears of a trade war, stocks continued to fall today. The Dow fell 1,100 points in the last 2 days.
It's been a scary couple days in a stock roller coaster. Experts say the decrease is because investors are worried about the potential of a trade war. Yesterday, China said they would fight a trade war and could only stop loaning American money.
All of this makes for the worst week on Wall Street in over 2 years. 3 people have been killed and 5 wounded today in southern France.
The attacker stole a car and took hostages at gunpoint at a local supermarket. The gunman was shot dead by police after 4 hours.
ISIS affiliate Amaq news agency has claimed the gunman as a part of their terrorist organization.
Coming up, will the sunshine we had earlier today continue? Our weather anchor Josh Feinblatt has your latest CNY weather on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to CitrusTV News. If you are in Omaha for the Syracuse Duke basketball game, 45 degrees, but it's going to be raining, so definitely bring your coat. It's at 9:37. Tip-off Zach Lang has got more on specifics of when Syracuse is going to win later in the show. 37 degrees right now and cloudy outside. If you're going out tonight, temperatures are going to get down to around 29, and then later into the evening, 27 degrees. You should be wearing a Syracuse sweatshirt. Whether they win or lose, you should still be supporting the team. If you look, our precipitation in the area, just a little bit. It's missing us pretty much. We're located centrally right here, just a little bit in the south and north of us. Nothing for us, none of that sleet, snow. And if you are going using a ride share. It depends on the score of the game, but it shouldn't be too bad. If we win, maybe it's a little bit high, but it should be moderate surge pricing. And taking a look at our Saturday planner, it's going to get to a high of 29 degrees, but it's going to stay pretty steady throughout the evening. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, it's going to get up to, most notably, 51 degrees on Tuesday, and then rain coming in on Wednesday. That's all for me, guys.
Coming up on sports, tonight is the night to cure your sweet tooth. Syracuse and Duke in the Sweet 16 to determine the fate of the Orange, another matchup against the Blue Devils in lacrosse on Saturday, and much more. Stay tuned.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Playing on house money, they say we're not supposed to be here, so, we're giving it all we got. We understand, the circumstances, but, we definitely, everybody's definitely enjoying it.
You kind of got to reseed teams at this point. Everyone who made it here is really good. They deserve to be here. So we know this is going to be a tough Syracuse team. It's not a 2 versus 11 matchup. It's 2 really good teams going at it.
Syracuse is definitely playing with house money and is fighting against the spread yet again. Welcome to sports. I'm Zach Lang. The stage is set for round 2 of Cuse and Duke, but the stakes couldn't be higher this time. Winner moves on to the Elite Eight and will be crowned as the winner in the game of zones. Head coaches Jim Boeheim and Coach K both run 2-3 zone defenses, something Syracuse's other tournament opponents did not do. The Orange's defense has been nothing short of textbook in the Big Dance, allowing just under 60 points per game. Duke will look to bust that trend with an offense that boasts the second best field goal percentage and points per game throughout the first 2 rounds of the tournament. And tip-off is set for around 9:37 p.m. on CBS. And if you're still up and dancing at 1:30 in the morning, tune in to Orange Press Pass on OTN. We'll have all your highlights and takeaways from tonight's game. And if one serving size isn't enough, get your double dose of Duke on Saturday when Syracuse lacrosse goes down to Durham. The Orange are looking to stay above 500, while they currently sit at 3-3 on the season, the worst start for the Cuse since 2007. Duke has only 1 loss on the season, but has yet to play a conference opponent. Blue Devils senior Justin Gutterding is on an absolute tear, netting 32 goals and handing out 24 assists just this season. But SU coach John Desko thinks he has Gutterding all figured out.
I think Nick Mellon will probably get him to start with, and Nick's got good feet, but Gutterding, he goes so quick to the goal. He catches the ball and he goes right away, and he catches a lot of defenses off balance because he gets to the goal so quick. And they do a lot of picking. They'll bring a short stick down to pick against his defender, and it's a pretty good game plan.
Last year in the Dome, Gutterding filled the stat sheet with 2 goals and 2 assists against the Orange. Face-off is set for 1:30. And women's lacrosse travels to South Bend, where they'll put up a fight against the Irish. Syracuse is riding a 2-game win streak with the help of Emily Harris-Chuck. In that stretch, she has led the Cuse with 8 goals and tacked on an assist. This is the 3rd straight away game for the Orange, but it doesn't end there. Away games against Northwestern and Princeton complete the 5-game streak away from the Dome. First draw is set for 1 p.m. And in case you're wondering what a Sound Tiger is, maybe the War Memorial will have some answers. The Crunch hosts the Bridgeport Sound Tigers tonight in hopes to grab their 40th win of the season. Their last win came last Saturday against the Laval Rocket, in which Syracuse won by 3. The Crunch will look to extend their win streak to 4 when the puck drops tonight at 7 p.m. And for all the MLS fans out there, some big news coming across the pond. Soccer star Zlatan Ibrahimovic is leaving Manchester United to join the LA Galaxy. The 36-year-old is well known as a jokester, and check this out. Zlatan bought a full-page ad in the LA Times featuring a letter to the city saying simply, "Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome." Something tells me he'll fit right in with the LA crowd. The Galaxy won their last cup title in 2014.
Thanks so much, Zach, and of course we'll keep our eyes on the game tonight. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. We keep Zach here because we need to know about your take on the game tonight. Syracuse-Duke. Syracuse lost 60-44 a few weeks ago. What do you think happens tonight in Omaha?
Well, this game definitely has the largest spread of all the games that have been going on in the Sweet 16, but I think Syracuse can do it. I personally think that they can make it to the Elite Eight.
Interesting take. What do you think, Nicole?
I am going to say, like a good Syracuse fan, that we will win. There you go.
Yeah, how do you think the offense fares against that Blue Devils 2-3 zone?
I mean, it's going to be hard because you heard Boeheim the last time probably say, oh, Coach K stole my 2-3 zone, but you know what, the Syracuse offense, a bit staggering, but maybe they can punch right through.
Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have for Citrus TV News tonight. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all your latest news updates. I'm Noah Eagle.
Be sure to tune into Orange Press Pass at 1:30 for an in-depth post-game coverage. I'm Nicole DeMentri, and of course, go Orange.